Yeah, when I stepped down as Secretary General of NATO, I established my own private consultancy. It's called Rasmussen Global. We have 2 offices in Copenhagen and Brussels, and we are present in Berlin, London, and Washington. So it's really a big organization already. Among our clients is President Putin of Ukraine. We have also an agreement with other governments, big international companies and organizations. So we give advice on international issues like security and economy. Well, I think the biggest challenge in Europe is the more assertive and aggressive Russia. We have seen that during the last 4 years. Russia has destabilized eastern Ukraine. They have illegally annexed Crimea into the Russian Federation. My advice would be to maintain a firm stance and unity across the Atlantic, including maintain current sanctions and maybe even strengthen sanctions, because the only language that is understood by President Putin is the language of power. I think it's of utmost importance to demonstrate clear solidarity with the UK. Anything short of full solidarity would be considered a victory by the Kremlin. But that solidarity should be expressed not only in words and statements, but also in concrete action. I would suggest to strengthen sanctions against Putin's cronies, against the individuals that might be responsible for this chemical attack. Furthermore, I would suggest that the European Union decides to extend sanctions for a period of 12 months instead of the current 6 months. Such actions would send a very clear message to President Putin that, of course, his reckless action in Salisbury has consequences. It has a cost. I think it's of utmost importance to think of this in strategic terms, by which I mean we have to set some long-term goals. We have to define some milestones that could be a driving force for those countries. For instance, I think we should offer them participation in the EU's energy union. They could also join the digital single market. And I also think we should look into the feasibility of those countries joining a customs union with the European Union. We know from experience how important it is to have such long-term goals as a driving force for reforms and renewal of their societies. Well, I think the UK, as a current member of the European Union, deserves some very special partnership with the European Union. Of course, we fully respect the decision of the British people to leave the European Union, but personally I do hope that the outcome of the current negotiations will be positive, by which I mean that we have a very special relationship with the UK. Not least speaking about security, I think we have a common interest in keeping a very close cooperation between the UK and European Union when it comes to the fight against terrorism, sharing of data, etc.